What is going on, Tentacrew? My name is Billy the Squid, and today I want to talk about co-op in Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, because co-op exists, and it's actually pretty fun. So, they did not have co-op in the first trial, Trial 1. Trial 2 introduced co-op out of nowhere. They had no mention of there being a co-op system in this game at all. And boy, happy am I that they did, because it's actually a lot of fun. It's another really cool way to play the game. There's a few design choices that I think they need to work on moving forward. And there's a few technical issues that they definitely need to work on moving forward. But we'll get to those later in the videos. But first and foremost, co-op. How do you access it? Well, if you want to be the host of a co-op session, you have to have beaten the Chaos Shrine area. I'm sure this is going to be the same thing for the base game. I have a feeling Chaos Shrine is going to be the first level that you go to. You need to beat it twofold. One, to kind of get a feel for how the game works. It's your standard tutorial style area. And two, to be able to get all of the characters, at least at this point in the game, accessible. You don't get Neon until the end of the Chaos Shrine, and therefore you kind of need that. Although the way that the summoning in works and the co-op works, Neon's not necessary because there's only 3 people out at a time. But I get the design choice. It's okay. Moving on. So once you have access to the host, you set up a room, and it has a room ID. You can give that room ID out to your friends so that they can directly input it and join into the room. You can also password lock that so that randoms do not join in, because whenever you create a room, that room also goes out into a public sphere where people can just click on your room and join if they're doing a mission that they want to do or whatnot. They have the choice. They get to see what mission you're doing. They get to see what difficulty you're playing on, and they have the choice to be able to join in if they want to. But if you want to forgo that, you can add a password to your room, give out your ID, give out your password, and boom, you are in. You can choose who your co-op companion goes to. They are going to take the body of one of your NPC allies, either Ash, Jed, or Neon. Me, myself, I asked to play as Neon because she's really cool. And then, yeah, everything else from your solo play of the game, if you are being summoned in, will transfer into the co-op session. So you'll have all of your jobs leveled up, all of the gear that you had. Everything will be just as you had left it. That way you're able to help as much as possible. It would be a little weird if you were stuck with what the host's equipment for those allies were. I'm glad to hear that's not the case. As far as I know, also, game progression between both the host and the person being summoned in does go through, so you don't have to play it through on one person's playthrough and then play through on another person's playthrough. You can progress through the game with each other as normal, which I think is really, really nice. It's a nice quality of life thing. Breaks down on some of the tedium of co-op, especially since co-op, I feel, is a little bit harder than solo. But again, we'll get into that later. So once you see the equipment, you can kind of get a game plan going for who's going to play what. If you want one person on dedicated caster, one person on dedicated melee, you can. You also see the level, you also see the difficulty, and then bada bing, bada boom, you are going to go slay some chaos with friends. So as you load in, everything plays out as if you were playing through it solo. You still see all the cutscenes, you still see all of the characters and whatnot. The thing that I did find weird is, as you can see in this cutscene, Jack and Jed are fully kitted out. That's because Jed is on the sidelines. But Ash and Neon are not kitted out, which is a bit odd. The reason that this is because whenever you are summoned in for a co-op session, your gear does not show up. And for some reason, it doesn't make it so that the other, like the NPC or the other co-op person's gear doesn't show up either. So even though there's nobody on Ash right now, he is in his base default gear. And as you can see, the lovely Neon is running around in her bandage panties. I do have full gear equipped. All the gear stats are working just as intended. They do just not show. So if that's your thing, I guess that's what it is right now. I have a feeling that this is going to be something that they are going to improve in the future. I have a feeling that this is just not a priority for this test of the game. But I have a feeling that gear is going to be seen on players in the future. It would be weird for it not to. I understand if that bringing that kind of data over would be weird, but they're already bringing the stats over. I can't imagine bringing the textures over would be that difficult. But I'm also not a game designer, so I don't know. But as you can see, all your job stuff, everything that you had from your solo is brought in whenever you are being brought in for co-op. And yeah, then you get to, like I said, slay chaos with friends. Everything from the way the game worked before works exactly the same here. There's a few minor differences. Whenever you're playing solo, all of your NPCs have full mana bars and you can kind of tell them what to do. The host can still tell, like, Ash what to do as far as when to power up and do special attacks and stuff like that. But as far as the person being summoned in, you have to earn your mana bars back, either from soul guarding or breaking enemies. And yes, Neon can actually break enemies. Any of them can. It's not a bombastic execute Kratos style like what Jack does. It is very much a simplified one execute style per weapon class from what I noticed. Like with the club, you'll do a big uppercut sweep, cut them right up down the middle, and then they shatter into crystal. You get your magic. GG. Easy. But I do like that that is still the case. You're still having to kind of vie for resources with your co-op partner. That kind of gives a little bit more of a balance to things, considering you do have two full-brained humans, or at least two half-brained humans, working together trying to complete a task. And you're going to need that, because the game's difficulty is actually pretty decently scaled with co-op. And since there is a difficulty selector in the game, I have a feeling this isn't going to be as much of an issue as it could be with some of the other Souls-likes out there. With the difficulty selector, if the game is too hard, and I have a feeling that co-op hard mode is going to be quite difficult for a lot of people. I know it was for us. It might be a good option to bring it down. And it just gives more accessibility in general, which I think for this game is nice. When we started playing through this here, I thought the game's difficulty scaling was completely borked. I thought they had messed it up. I thought it was way too easy. And then I realized we were playing on story mode, so that completely changed my mindset on it from there on out. We ended up playing hard mode for the rest of the stuff in our co-op session, and it is quite difficult. And they did give a few things. I have a feeling they know the difficulty of the co-op, because they give you a few things to work around that. First and foremost, you can still use your potions to pick people up like you could with your NPCs. But in this, if Jack dies or another player dies, they're not out forever. And they also have ways of reviving themselves. As you can see, to the side, there are 3 Phoenix Downs. These are group-wide Phoenix Downs, so it's not like Neon has 3, Jack has 3, but they allow you to pick yourself up. So if your partner is not in a good spot to be able to pick you up, or you're both down, you're able to then pick yourself up, start the fight up again, and be good to go without having to full wipe. Once both party members are down, though, without Phoenix Downs, the game will shut down, restart you at a sphere, and you'll be going forward like you would in solo. So what are some of the issues with the co-op system that I have noticed? Well, first and foremost, the load times both getting into a room and then getting from that room into the game they feel exceptionally long. This might just be part of the beta right now. It might not be something that's fully fleshed out and optimized. That's what I'm hoping. I also know that since this is on the PS5 version, they should have SSD priority on there. So I'm assuming it's just server connecting that is taking a long time, because I haven't had any load time issues with the base game itself playing it by myself. Secondly, there are some odd issues that happen whenever you're the person being brought in. None of these issues that I'm going to talk about appeared when I was the host or when my partner was the host, but there are some like rubber banding issues on enemies. As you'll see here, this wolf gets staggered and then he immediately teleports away and into an attack, even though I was still hitting him while he was in stagger animation. These issues tend to fluctuate. They'll be there for a second and then they'll disappear. As you'll see here, I'm going to cast an Aroga, and it's going to cause the little wolves. I don't think the spell has anything to do with it, but they'll just start disappearing on me whenever I go to counterattack them out of the spell. This, like I said, happened for about 30 minutes. That wolf's gone. Oh, let's go to this wolf. That wolf's gone. Okay, and then it's good. Then we're solid again. So little small rubber banding issues. This could be either server issues with the Square Enix servers. This could be host issues where the host is having an internet like little hiccup. I'm not sure how it works. I would assume it's host-based matchmaking, so it could be either way. But it is something definitely to keep in mind moving forward. If you plan on co-oping, make sure that you have all the things available that you need to make it a smooth experience for everybody. And hopefully Square and Team Ninja will work on these issues in the future if it is on their end, which I think it very well might be. Lastly, we did have a game-breaking issue happen twice. Once, it wasn't in a game-breaking circumstance, but it could have been. And second, it was a game-breaking instance where we actually had to exit out, recreate the room, and then come back in. There is occasionally an issue where, for whatever reason, the first time it happened, it was when we were at one of the save spheres. Whenever we went to go into the next area, I could not see the enemies. The host could see the enemies. They could still attack the enemies. I could not interact with the enemies. I could not see the enemies. I could only benefit my party members through white mage spells and the like. Nothing that I did offensively was able to help the circumstance. In this situation, it was fine because nobody was down. If the host would have been down, I think we would have had an issue, but we were able to just go back to the save sphere, reset the enemies in the area, and we were fine. Everything popped back up. I was able to help attack. All good, baby. The second time, it happened in the Garland boss fight, and I'm just going to kind of go away and let the clip play for itself because it was pretty funny, even though we did have to reset the room. So enjoy some glitchy hilarity.
Alright, now that I know there's a second boss after this, I need to be more careful. I say as I immediately get hit in the face.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Oh, this is a one-shot.
Oh.
Nice shot, bud.
No.
I can no longer see him.
Oh, that's not good.
It's not necessarily bad.
I mean...
Yeah, he wombo comboed me so hard that I'm out of existence.
Oh, I let that one get me.
I can rev you with my potions.
That's good. He's trying to stab you.
Is he?
Ow. He was, yeah. I am down.
Can you stand?
Oh! He tried to fucking grab me right as you stood me up. That's cheating. Yeah, he's still occasionally trying to stab you. And then he randomly swaps to me and makes me fucking crap myself.
No napping.
He actually casted Blaze at you.
You're doing great, bud.
Thanks. This guy does not fuck around.
No, they did really good with the bosses in this game. Like, it
Oh, I staggered him out of the fire sword. Fuck you.
feels fun and balanced.
Yeah.
It's so awkward looking at it with no Garland in that. It just looked like you were pantomiming in the middle of the room.
He just tried to grab you.
Good.
Still trying to beat the crap out of you.
I have no way of revving you, but I also have no way of dying, so...
I have Phoenix stats. That's true. Like, right now, we technically can't lose.
I mean, we could be sitting here in limbo
Oh my
with
God.
with Ash being...
Oh, that's true. Ow. If you swing around me, can you hit him? No.
Not anywhere
You're swinging
nearby.
through him. You're swinging through him, but it's not damaging him. Get him, Ash. Oh, Ash is dead.
Yeah, I think we're stuck.
Now he's just fireballing you right in the face. Yeah, we call this stuck.
This is unfortunate.
This is indeed unfortunate.
Um,
Do you have any way of suiciding?
no.
Hmm.
An abandoned mission.
Well, now Neon's fighting him. And now we've lost because I'm already dead.
So yeah, that's how that went down. We ended up having to restart and go back through everything again. That did open up a cool idea, though, that I hadn't thought of, in the fact that if you do have somebody in for co-op and for whatever reason they get disconnected or leave, it does sub back in the ally for the rest of that encounter. So it goes basically back into solo mode from there on out. So you're not stuck with just that person disappearing and being stuck 2v however many enemies you have left. It's not going to cripple you in any way to have somebody leave, which I think is nice. A few quality of life features I would like to see added to the co-op system is the ability to more easily join friends' rooms. Like I said, the password system and the room ID system is all fine and dandy, but I would like to see a little bit more streamlining of a process there. Even in the fact of just being able to like send friend requests through either Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever system you're going to be able to play it on, just be able to send a friend request, like a join game request there, or just be able to join in on them if they have their room open and available. I think that would make the process a lot easier than having to type in the codes and the passwords and all that stuff. And even so much as just having a friends only lobby type so that you don't have to go through a password system. These are all very much nitpicks. The biggest issues that we actually had with it was that game breaker during the boss fight. Still don't know what triggered that specifically, but other than that, the experience was solid. The experience is really good. Much like Trial 1 into Trial 2, I'm expecting the co-op from Trial 2 into main game or Trial 3, if they put out a Trial 3, to be exceptionally improved upon. Team Ninja's been really doubling down on this game, and Square's been working with them very closely. It seems like they really have the community at heart for what they want this game to be, and they're really, really valuing that community feedback. The surveys both times have been very detailed on what they are asking, and I'm excited to see where this game comes out in March, how it is and what state it's in. And I'm gonna be real with you guys, because I always try to be real with you guys. I think this is going to be one of the best Souls-likes to come out of 2022, along with Elden Ring. So definitely keep this one on your radar. It comes out in March next year. Definitely something to look forward to. And now you have even more incentive to do it because it has a fully fleshed out co-op system that is surprisingly well done. So much love, Tenda Crew. What do you think of the co-op system? If you are interested in more Stranger of Paradise content, don't forget to sub to the channel. We will be doing more content along these lines in the future, as well as Souls-like content in general. Like the video if you like the video. Don't if you didn't. I will talk to you in the next video. Much love, Tenda Crew. Bye-bye.